Hey, welcome back to another video for the Ryla official channel. My name is Ryan, and today we are going to start a mini-series on how to optimize your YouTube channel for success. In today's video, which is part 1, I'm going to go over titles, tags, description, monetization, and upload defaults. These are the parameters which you set during the upload process and ones that you can change later in your info and settings tab of a video's properties. After watching this video in its entirety, you should be able to run through all of your existing videos and change these properties according to the advice I will give. You should also be able to apply them properly to future uploads. So let's get started. So for this video, I'm going to assume that you have a channel with at least a few videos on it. But if you're one of those people with empty channels, then that's okay too, because the tips in this video will be very useful when you upload your first video. So where do you start? I would first go to your YouTube creator dashboard located at youtube.com/dashboard. The YouTube Creator Dashboard has some nice uses which we will go over in the future. However, the one usage that we are focusing on now is the shortcut to your 4 most recent uploads with stats and the link to edit the video properties, as seen here. On the left sidebar, you can also click on the Video Manager link to view a list of 4 uploads. The tab that we will focus on here is Info and Settings. Let's briefly decode the information up here first. Over here, we obviously get a video player so that we can watch our video if we want to. And notice how before you click play, the image that is displayed is your custom thumbnail. Custom thumbnails are really critical, but we will talk about them in another video. Over here, you can choose your thumbnail from the 3 auto-generated pictures, or you can upload your own. Okay, so now it's the important stuff. Here is the field for the title. Most likely, your title is not optimized already, and it needs some changing. Let's talk a bit about some tips for terrific titles. In our example here, when talking about tips for titles, our video will be a review of the extremely popular video game Half-Life 3. Before we can even talk about the title, we need to talk about keywords. Keywords are what people type into the YouTube search box to find your video. You should have a few keywords in mind for your video. Decide which one you want to be your primary keyword. This is the one you should optimize for the most. Our example video is a review of Half-Life 3, so some possible keywords might be Half-Life 3 review, Half-Life 3 confirmed, and Half-Life 3 intro. And let's go to the YouTube search box and start to type in our target keyword. As we start typing in our keyword, we can see some suggestions from YouTube itself. Some of these keyword suggestions might be worth targeting in addition to your main keywords. Let's jot some of these down. So now that we have some keywords to target, let's choose our best one to use in our title. If needed, we can even combine parts of different keywords in order to make a great title. A great title is one that draws attention to people searching for it, or for people who see it in the related video. A great title should also not be misleading or spammy. In our example here, the video title could be Half-Life 3 Review, since the other keywords don't really fit into the title. But maybe for your case, you are able to combine some of those keywords into a great attractive title. Another title tip is to put your channel name at the end of your title. Remember when writing your title to always use proper spelling, grammar, and capitalization. This helps you look more professional, makes it easier for people to find. You should never use any profanity or vulgar terms in your title. If you must, censor a few letters of the word. This will also make it more advertiser friendly, and it will make it seem less suspicious to YouTube's automated algorithms. Let's go back to one of my videos so we can see a real example. The topic of the video on this page is configuring privacy settings in Windows 10. I could have easily made the title How to Configure Privacy Settings in Windows 10 or Windows 10 Privacy Tips, but I don't think those titles would draw as much attention as How to Restore Your Privacy in Windows 10. The key difference is the use of the word restore. This implies that the potential viewer's privacy has been lost already if they are using Windows 10, and they probably don't like that idea, and they want a solution. Also notice how the name of the channel, Ryla Official, is appended to the channel title. Next, let's talk about the video description. The description is an essential part of your video page. The description is something that should briefly describe your video and provide additional resources. The first 3 lines of your description should contain your primary keyword. This is because the first 3 lines of the description is what YouTube's search algorithms will probably look for, and it's also what the viewer sees without having to expand the description. In the first couple of lines, I make some catchy statements and use the primary target keyword, which is how to restore your privacy in Windows 10. In the third line, I recommend the viewer that they should expand the description if they want to learn more. Below that, I include a little bit more information about the video, and you only want to give a few more sentences. You do not want to reveal too much about the video, or else the viewer may decide that there's no reason to watch your video and they can just read the description. Below that, Links to anything that you promised would be in the description should be there. Even if you don't say you'll have the link in the description for something, it may still be a good idea to link to it. For example, if you're doing a review of GTA 5, you should provide a link to where the person can buy that game in the description. And below that, notice how I have a dotted line. This is a nice way to separate what is in your description for an individual video and what is in the description for every video. For the stuff that should show up in the description of every video, you should include your social media links and possibly links to featured channel. Anything that you always want to be in your description should go there. There is a way to tell YouTube to place that in your description by default on every new upload, and we will look at that later. After setting the title and description, it is time to set the tags. The tags are not as important as they used to be compared to the title and description, but it's still worth setting them. The tags must be relevant. If you put misleading tags, YouTube can penalize you. And try to put short phrases related to your video in addition to your primary keyword. You can also have variations of your primary keyword too. The phrases I have here are related to the video, and they may not all be mentioned in the title, but they are mentioned in the description, and I believe you are only allowed up to 35 tags, but realistically, you don't really need all those tags. If you have a Twitter account connected, you could use this box to automatically send out a tweet about your video, and you can add a little message, but there's not much room to type. Let's move on to the next tab, which is for translations. This is a very new feature that YouTube added, and you can translate your title and video description. If you know a language other than English, then I recommend that you translate it to that language. Of course, you can pay for someone else's translation services, or you can get a rough translation by using Google Translate. This will help international users at least know what your video is about, but unless you add closed captions in different languages, when they actually watch the video, it might not be that useful to them. Next is the monetization tab. I recommend checking all of the boxes so that a variety of ad formats can be shown. Some of the ad formats pay more money than others do. And also, if your video is longer than 10 minutes, you have the option to have ad breaks. Where you place the ad breaks is up to you, but if you put them in the wrong place, it can annoy your viewers. You can also click suggest placements, and YouTube will try to guess where to put the ads, but of course, this is only a guess, and you may want to change that. If we go over here to the advanced settings, we can choose whether or not to allow comments, and if they must be approved first before they show up. I recommend keeping all comments enabled, and you can choose how you want to sort them too. In another video, we will talk about how to better moderate comments. I recommend allowing ratings, which are the likes or dislikes. There is no harm showing those except somebody can make a stupid comment about how many dislikes there are and what that must mean. For the license, it is by default set to standard YouTube license. However, it can also be set to a Creative Commons license, which allows users to use parts of your video in their own video. Most of the time, you probably don't want this. However, if you're releasing something that you want people to remix, then you should probably select the Creative Commons license. You should make your content available on all platforms, not just monetized platforms. If you select monetized platforms only, this is a bad choice, and here's why. First of all, it will give your viewers the impression that you are only making videos because they make money, and not because you enjoy it. Second of all, you'll be missing a percentage of your target audience who watches YouTube on an Apple TV or on a legacy device. Next is caption certification. For most of us, you can just select the default statement, which is, this content has never aired on television in the US. For distribution options, it is best to allow embedding of your content. So if someone likes your video and wants to write a blog post about it, and embed your video in that post, then he or she can do that, unless you disable embedding. And I also see no reason to do that, anyway, unless you're a giant corporation who cares way too much about their content. Do not enable the age restriction option ever. If your video has inappropriate content, then you should censor it or omit it. Checking this option will remove the ability to monetize it. And plus, it's incredibly simple to get around the restriction anyway, so it's not that effective. Your category is something that you should get right. If in your opinion, the video doesn't even fit any of those categories, then just choose entertainment, because that's pretty safe for almost every YouTube video. For your video location, it's important to set it to at least your country. If you want to be more specific, then that's okay too. This should be where the video was made, not where you live, unless it's a homemade video, of course. You should definitely allow viewers to contribute subtitles and closed captions. Of course, if you do get contributions, you want to make sure that they're accurate. Recording date should just be set to the date that you recorded your video. If you forget when it was recorded, you could just use the upload date. If you want to experiment with 3D, you can check that box, but I won't be able to help you. I haven't even tried making any 3D videos. If the video contains a paid product placement, then you should be honest with YouTube and yourself and check this box that it contains a paid product placement. And if you don't know what that means, then you probably don't need to worry about it. So, we are done looking at the properties in the info and settings tab, but the last thing I want to show you is how to set upload upload defaults. So you go down here on the left sidebar and you click channel, and then you click upload defaults. Let's do a quick rundown here. All videos should be public by default, and whichever category matches the content of most of your videos should be selected here. If you have a gaming channel, then most if not all your videos should have their category set to gaming. It's also a wise idea to have your license on standard by default. For the title field, whatever you put here will be added to the title of each video by default. For example, I put a hyphen and then my channel name. Remember, that was a title tip that I mentioned earlier. For what to put in the description by default, we talked about that earlier too. But in case you forgot, social media links, links to your website or blog, and featured channels are examples of what you should add here. For tags, put in things related to your channel, like the primary topic and your channel name. For example, I put in Ryla Official, Tech Channel, and Gaming Channel, and I also put in my name in case people try to search for me by my name. And here's some more settings, which if you notice are repeats of settings that we saw earlier. Earlier, those settings were only for an individual video. Here, it sets it as a default parameter for all future uploads. However, setting something here will not change it for videos that existed before you set upload defaults. You will have to go in and manually change the settings on all those older videos. Of course, you want all of your monetization options to be turned on, and for the rest of the settings, just match them with what you normally set for your videos. And that wraps up part 1 of the mini-series on YouTube optimization tips. So thanks for watching. Next week in part 2, we will go over best practices for a custom thumbnail, and we will walk through the creation of an example thumbnail. So stay tuned for that. And we have a new end card right now, which will be at the end of this video, coming up in a few seconds, and in future videos. So thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more videos on this channel, you can click in the video boxes below, and you can also click in this box to be taken to a playlist of all of our videos. You can subscribe to our channel by clicking that big subscribe button right here. You can also like us on our new Facebook page, follow us on our Twitter account, and follow us on our Instagram account. I try to get one video uploaded every week, and I'll see you in the next one.